What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a good day, and today we will pick up right where we left off and continue working on our towers. And if you like this episode, please hit the like button and also subscribe so you don't miss out on the next episodes. But enough of the intro, let's do some coding. Let's just pick up where we left off. So currently we just have a tower. It doesn't do anything and we can't decide to add any more towers, so we should add some buttons here in the playing menu so we can actually select a tower and also place it. So let's start out in our action bar, which is the button bar for playing. And above our constructor we're going to add a array, private my button array for all the towers we have. So tower buttons. And in our init buttons here we can say tower buttons equals new I button, and it's going to be a size of 3 because we have 3 different towers. And we're going to need some positioning for our tower buttons, but we're going to cheat a little bit from our toolbar where we have a lot of tile buttons, and we're going to use those values as a reference. So let's just copy these, place them in here, and I think that's going to be a good start. And with these new values we're going to make a loop. Int I equals 0, I is less than tower buttons dot int I equals 0, tower buttons dot length I plus plus. And we're going to create some new buttons here. So tower buttons I equals new my button, and the button needs a name, but we don't care about that really, but we need an X start, Y start, and we need a width and a height, and also I, which will be the ID. And we will move in the X direction, so X plus offset X offset times I. Yeah, that's gonna be good. And we're gonna use this ID that we get for our tower buttons to match the corresponding tower. So let's go down to our draw methods where it says draw buttons. It's right here. We make a for my button b dot tower buttons b dot draw. We're not gonna draw buttons like this, but this is just to see whether or not they show up, and they do. So now we can actually replace these blank buttons with the actual tower. So to do that we're gonna go into our tower manager and see what we got here. We have the images, but we have no way of getting those images. So we need a public buffered, right? Yeah. Buffered image array get tower images, return tower images, like so. Then we need to go to our playing class and see if we have a tower manager getter, which we do not. So public tower manager get tower manager return tower manager, like so. And now I think we can get the images for our towers. So g.draw image, we need a x, y, width and height, like so. And we go to our playing.get tower manager, get tower image, and then for our position we say b.get ID. That should now correspond correctly. And then for this b.x, b.y, b.width and b.height, and null for observer. So let's run this and see if we got some images instead of our blank screen. And we do, so we have the cannon, archer, and the wizard. Perfect. Now we just need to add some borders and make it look a little bit better. And we're actually going to look to our toolbar for the method we need in order to draw all these feedback that we usually have for our buttons. And the method here, draw button feedback, which is in toolbar, we can actually Control X and move it over to our bar, right? Yeah, to our bar. And in here, we're just going to change that to protected. Save, and that should remove all the errors here. Good. And in our action bar, where we draw our buttons, we're going to add some brackets to this one. And then we say draw button feedbacks, G and B. And let's see if that gives us any borders, etc. for our buttons. And it does. And let's add some background too. The orange doesn't fit well behind the enemy. And to add the background, we simply add a g.fillRect and b.x, b.y, b.width, and b.height. And then we can check how it looks. Current black, I think g.set color, color.gray. I think gray is a better color for this. Yeah, that looks alright. Yeah, let's go with this. And next up would be to add mouse over and all of that to those buttons. So let's do that. And I will not show this part. We've done this so many times and there is no need to show it yet again. And I will just leave a screenshot how it turned out and you can just pause the video if you wish to copy it. Released, pressed, mouse over. We'll deal with clicked a little bit later, but let's see if it works. So we have mouse over, we have pressed. Perfect. Now we just need to figure out what to do when we click the buttons. And we can probably do something very similar to our toolbar in our mouse clicked, where we have the selected tile. But instead of a selected tile, we can have a selected tower. So let's go up to our action bar and add a tower, maybe. Yeah, let's add a tower. Private tower selected tower. And this tower will be just a placeholder for our current tower that we wish to select. So selected tower will not be initialized here, but it will be initialized in our mouse click. And if we didn't press the menu button, then we most likely pressed a tower. So let's add a loop here. My button B tower buttons. Add some brackets and here we go. First we check if b.getBounds contains the click. Then we say selected tower equals new tower. And for position, we don't need anything special like that. And for ID, we're gonna go -1, I think. We'll see what we do with that. But for tower type, we need the correct tower type that we clicked on. And I think that's gonna correspond with b.getID. I think that is going to correspond. And once we have selected the tower, we simply say return. And just like in our toolbar, where we create the selected tile and then send the selected tile to our editing, we're gonna send the selected tower to our playing. So playing.set selected tower, selected tower. And we're gonna create the method and created it there, but we're gonna move it up. Load, sets, level, update. Let's go underneath update here. And we also need a selected tower, private tower, selected tower. I think we need to import the class. No, we did not. This dot selected tower equals selected tower. Perfect. And we need to draw the tower in here. Draw selected tower. And G. And create the method. You can keep it here. And we need to g.drawImage. X and Y, we need we just need this one. So image will be tower manager dot get tower images, and we will use selected tower dot get tower type. Mouse X, mouse Y, yeah. And we will place null. Now is the question, do we actually use the mouse Y and mouse X? It looks like it. And we also need to add a check here. If selected tower is not equal to null, meaning it's not been initialized, then we don't draw it. We only draw it if it's been initialized. So I think this is going to work. Let's see. Play. We click the wizard, and now we have a wizard that we can place. Well, we can't place it yet, but we can move it around and it snaps in position. Perfect. Now let's work on actually being able to place it somewhere, and only on grass. And we should probably start in our mouse clicked in playing here, where we check if the Y position of the mouse is less than 640, then we go to action bar. But if you're not, then we can actually call some function here. And we're going to add some brackets to begin, because there could be other things we need to check. If selected tower is not equal to null, for now we just assume if we click a tower we want to place it, and we'll deal with removing the selected tower later. But for now we just want to check if it's selected tower, then we would like to place the tower. So we call tower manager add tower, and we pass in selected tower. So we create a method in tower manager, but we also want to say selected tower equals null. So we remove the current one we have. And in here, in the tower manager, we probably want to move this one up a bit. Yeah, above our update method here. And of course, we can actually, you know what, let's remove the current tower. And this method, init towers, we don't need any of that. But here we also need to remove the current draw, like so. Or actually, let's comment this one out for now. Here where we say add tower, we need something to add it to. So private array list of towers, or towers equals new array list. And we use an array list because we will most likely add towers, change the towers, or rather upgrade them, and also remove towers. And in our add tower we say towers.add new tower, but we need a position also. Maybe we should have included that int x pos, int y pos. Save that, go back to playing. Here we will pass in mouse X and mouse Y, because we want them to be snapped in position, so we still need to use those values. For our new tower, we add it at X pos, Y pos. ID will be some global variable. We're going to add a variable called private int tower amount. I think that's good enough. Equals 0. So every time we add a new tower, we increase tower amount. Say tower amount plus plus. And here we need a tower type, which we have in selected. So selected tower.get tower type. And in our draw here, we go for tower t towers. G.draw image. We need a X and Y only. we need tower images and t.get tower type. And for x, we say t.get x. And for y, t.get y. And null for observer. Save that one. And I think we're gonna be able to place and also draw. Yeah, let's give it a go. Now we won't have the default tower to begin with, but let's try a cannon, and we get it. And let's add a few more. So now we can place the towers, but we don't want them to be placed anywhere else, only on top of actual grass. First, we check whether or not the selected tower is not null. Then we make a check here for is tile grass. And it's a method we don't have yet, but we're gonna place in the mouse X and mouse Y. And we're gonna create the method, and it's gonna return a boolean. Yep. And we're gonna change the name here for X and Y, not U, Y. So first we need int ID equals level y divided by 32, x divided by 32. So now we have the ID, the level ID, but we don't know if that ID corresponds with a tile type that is of grass type. So we need to get the tile type, which we get from tile type equals, and we have tile manager, right? Don't we have it? No, we don't have it. So we need to get it from game.get tile manager, get tile ID, and now we have the tile, and now we get the tile type. And then we simply return tile type equals grass tile. And I think we need to import grass tile. Yes, we need. So up here, import static helps constants tiles and grass tile, and save. Go down here, and the error disappears. So like that, I think it's gonna be a good check. And up here we move this section in here and remove that one, so it checks if the tile is grass, then we place it. So let's try it out and see if it works. Cannon on grass works. Archer on water does not work. Road does not work. Perfect, so now we can only place them on grass, which is exactly what we want. Very good. And that will be all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Next update will be about making sure that we cannot place a tower on top of a tower already, and similar stuff. So stick around for that one. And before I go, I want to say thank you guys for watching, and take care. I hope to see you in the next episode as well. Bye.